What's that? Oh me, oh my, I've got to distinguish between two stimuli, auditory and visual, that's the drill. Within each of them I need some skills. First, for auditory I need language, don't need to feel no anguish. Cause I got sound structure in one part and vocal cues for the other. What's in that? Well, let me tell you, brother. Paralanguage goes beyond the spoken word, helps you read between the lines that may be blurred. Vocal characteristics and speech disturbances show you some characteristics that may be beyond the surfaces. Fill pauses, dialects and accents help you to determine the speaker's physical appearance. Now we're talking about visual discrimination skills. Kinesics are nonverbals but pay the verbal bills. Emblems and regulators, affect displays and illustrators, combined with adapters are all nonverbal behaviors that add to our speech and emotion, give more meaning or regulate communication. Appearances aren't everything, but if you smell bad, for example, your listeners will just be sad. Artifacts like clothing and jewelry can either make you look like you're crazy or that you're into poetry. Kinesics time! Public distance is about this far. Social distance is about this far. Personal distance is about this far. Intimate distance is about this far. The distance depends on the situational context and your relationship with the speaker. Yeah, that rhymes. Moving on! Haptic communication gives you the feels, literally and figuratively, but it depends on whether you're in an intimate context or making professional business deals. And environment, that includes everything that's around, like lighting. And temperature, which are all settings and sounds. Chronemics is all about time. That one's simple, I don't need to rhyme. Time to detect deceptive cues. Aggressive, intense legs may be a sign of a short fuse. Awkward, shady hand motions should not confuse. Like the face can, the signs a face gives are harder to diffuse. Quick pointer, just remember, legs and feet are the easiest to give a dead giveaway. If you're lying, don't turn away. Time to detect regulatory cues. Regulation's all about turn control. In a tight-knit conversation, you can find a loophole. There's yielding and maintaining, requesting and denying. Miss a cue and your chance in the conversation may be waving a buy-in. Now that I can tell what people are saying, comprehensive listening is here to help my understanding. 8 skills and variables at my disposal to listen and remember and not become asocial. Memory and concentration will help you remember. Vocabulary and main ideas gives you that mental anchor. Hammer down the details and recall that information. Show that you're listening by following oral directions and asking meaningful questions. Then paraphrasing wraps up each bit of information. Whoa, slow down, don't you forget. Suppression may block out something you might regret. Fading simply dissolves things, makes you not remember. And be wary of distortion if I say something like the 21st night of December. And if your retrieval cues are garbage, processing breakdown has made your memory tarnished. Learn something wrong the first time, or interference won't let you learn properly the second time. Don't feel down if you have the brain of a clown. Here are a few techniques to make your cognition like the geeks. Memory can use a Loki system where for every bit you have a location, a position. Concentration's a little more physical. Be honest, reduce stress, deal with distractions before you get situation critical. Asking questions and paraphrasing both help finalize recollection and meaning. But what happens if someone needs some listening that's less repeating and more friendly for grieving? It's time to get critical. It's time to get analytical. Because persuasion and conversation, a mental invasion, trying to reach an intelligent sensation. As long as you think, analyze, and have a logical orientation, you examine, assess, and draw your own conclusions. Understand yourself. The way you think, have a strong metacognition. Defend the heart, protect the mind. In case of emergency, the maneuver is logical evasion. Sit right there and listen, cuz it's not quite a differential equation. Whoa, hey, look at my invitation. Don't think of it as anything else. It's an invitation. I'm gonna read off of it now. Hey, look at my cool invitation. Monroe's motivated sequence starts with attention, followed by a need, like you need some of your own fun. Events you should be attending. Now that you need to go, let me give you some satisfaction. A cool concert's coming to town. That's gonna be the party of a nation. Now that you know there's a concert, a fun occasion, you have a satisfaction to your needed entertainment. But wait, there's more. Let there be some visualization. Now you can take some action. Call the number on your screen to reserve a reservation. Now what happens if you critically listen and you hear some faulty argumentation? Well, don't sit back and let logical fallacies spit in your education. Watch out for faulty inductive reasonings or hasty generalizations, or when someone sets up an ad hominem and attacks the person. Appeals to emotions, circumvent the argument and strike your heart's passion. Speaking of circular, that type of reasoning just begs the question. Strawman defeats it purposely, weaken opposition. Hey, what about that red herring? Gotcha, that's just a distraction. Propaganda is a type of persuasion with a lot of construction. Lots of thought goes into how to sway the population. Emotions are the primary targets with words like annihilation. No citizen wants to live under enemy occupation. Join the army or risk national destruction. Your labor protects our civilization. Whether these messages are beneficial or detrimental depends on your interpretation. People want loyalty and friendship, wonder and pride, to be safe from capitulation. So targeting these emotions with a specific goal in mind, it creates a powerful equation. Be warned of name calling, the outgroup, or transfer or association, a bandwagon appeal to stay in the in-group, or a glittering generalization. Always stay vigilant and critical of incoming information. Now that this rap is coming to a close, I want to ask if you've appreciated those words and phrases, rhymes and cases that brought the song together. If not, let me give you another. Attraction is the first part of confidence processes, is highly individualized but nonetheless. Make contact and use your emotional right brain. Then use the logical left to make a critical evaluation. Let me explain. Appreciating music has 3 parts. Sensual gives you a physical start, something to give that pump to your heart. Emotional means your mood, your deep emotional trance. Think of the feeling you get when you listen to something like My Chemical Romance. Intellectual takes a logical approach to what the music has to say. Think of the deep messages and nuance in something like Green Day. A speaker has a style, a manner of speaking in which the content should be put aside to focus on the word meaning. From the accuracy of the idea to the language clarity, JFK's power of words was known to inspire prosperity. There's a striking quality to speakers like him that begs the question, how can one person leave such a phenomenal impression? We appreciate liveliness, we appreciate force. Energy and vigor help reinforce the consciousness of words or their economy. As long as the topic is appropriate, you got the propriety. Listening to things meant to be appreciated means taking things like music, television, film, and literature not for granted. Some things Hopper says you can do if you want to improve. Concentrate on ideas, hear details, encourage reaction just to get in the groove. Be patient, be willing, be open-minded. Unfocused attention will just leave you blinded. Just listen to what you hear. Letting go, you can't fear. Now this is the end of the song. Heed its advice, and with listening, you can't go wrong.